I'm running down this trail now, and I was thinking about, the running aspects of what I do. And it's oftentimes people ask me, they're like, well, you're a survival guy, why are you running around in the bush? Doesn't that burn calories? What's that all about? And the truth is, with this experience, it really is about the running experience as it's in its purity, which I think is just magical. Being able to cover ground on your own 2 feet and see all these amazing places. But when I'm out hunting and gathering, I do feel like running has a huge benefit. When you learn running skills, you look at tribes like the Kalahari Bushmen that run ibex down out in the African desert, and the Tarahumara that can run down deer. And I've done the same, living in the jungles in Kauai one winter. I was able to run down the goats that live in the interior of the island. And that's huge food. And there's been other times as well when maybe I didn't make a perfect shot and was able to run down an injured animal. So running, I think, is a very important part of nature connection, important part of our past, and it really is a full circle experience for a survival person. Is it absolutely necessary? No, but it's one aspect of survival, and it could definitely benefit you. Wow, look at that. Once upon a time, that was a hot and steamy bear poop, and you can see it's slightly undigested berries in there. But now it's crazy, is that's actually getting fermented. There's a little bit of mold happening on that. So that means I'm definitely getting into wetter territory up here in northern Oregon. So as I'm coming through here, definitely seeing more signs of bears. And that's cool. Bears are a natural part of the habitat. It's awesome to see them here. But with that being said, bears, they have teeth and they have sharp claws, and they're very big, powerful animals that could potentially kill you. It is rare though for a bear to attack people, but there are those circumstances, and when you're in a place like this, start seeing more bears. What this tells me is I've got to think more about what I do with my food at nighttime. And in a lot of national parks, you'll see bear boxes and established campsites. And that's because that bear's used to coming there, getting freebies for people that leave food out. So anytime you see a place like this, by all means, day or night, get your food in the bear box if you're not near it. Also, sometimes you'll have an established campsite in the backcountry that's very popular without a bear box when you're in bear country. And in that circumstance, you still want to take the time to properly hang the food. Wow. Yeah, look at this one. I don't know, I'm starting to get fascinated by this bear poop. This one's actually sprouting out of the berries. That's pretty cool. Yeah, little huckleberry plant might just grow out of that bear poop there. Here we go. This is Oregon Grape. This is a really nice plant to know about. Here's the leaves right here. And here's the berries, and they're just starting to ripen up. So this time of year, you just eat them right on the spot. They get sweeter as the season goes on. And one of the things I like about this plant, and it's actually really one of my favorites for this, is you take the roots, pound up the roots, and it makes a strong bitter tea. And that tea is an amazing liver cleanse. So anytime I feel like I just need to purify, I might do a fast on just this tea. And a couple times I have had Giardia or Cryptosporidium, which is a parasite you can get from drinking bad water. And I usually start it off with sagebrush, which is a wormwood, and then I use this tea to finish it off as a more gentle cleanse. And it's amazing. I've gotten rid of the parasites that way. So I highly recommend get to know this plant, look up multiple sources, learn more about it. Oregon Grape. So I've been seeing more and more pine through here. These guys are small little ones popping up, and what I'm going to do is gather some of the tips, just one tip per pine because they're smaller. You don't want to hurt the tree, so I'll spread out the impact. And I'm going to take these pine needles and I'm going to pound them up to make what I call my pine needle sports drink. It's pretty awesome. So at least I think it's awesome. I've been drinking pine tea for a long time, and I think it's actually one of the best you can drink for your health. So what I'm going to do is just take pine needles. Over here there's a stump. You can use a stump or a flat rock or anything. And so I'll place them down here, and hopefully you can see this all right. And you want to pound them up really good. And you see as you're pounding them, it's breaking it up, you're getting all those juices out of the pine needles, and that's really important. Now, because I'm on the go, I'm going to go ahead and use this cold. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to stick it directly in my water bottle, unheated. And if you have the opportunity to heat it up, it's really nice, but this is actually a good trick to know about when you're on the go. Okay, so you can see it's pounded up. I got a lot of the juices out of the needles. And so right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take this, put it inside my water bottle right here. So drop those needles in there. I put the lid back on. And give it a really good shake. You really want to get all those juices in there really good. And that right there, that's pine needle superfood. This is one of my favorites. The nice thing about pines is if you make tea out of it often, especially in the winter months if you're around camp, take the pine needles and make it with a little boiling water and do this often. You get your vitamin C, nutrition, other types of minerals, nutrients that you can only get from green foods when they're normally not available in the winter time. So highly recommend you get to know pine if it's in your area and start using it often. You'll have a lot better health, and I like the taste of it. Yeah, so my pine tea's been soaking for about 20 minutes, and already you can see it's starting to turn a little bit more green in color, and it's starting to get that lemony taste. Now when you drink it cold like this, it is better to let it soak throughout the day, and I'm gonna drink a little bit now and continue to let it soak, and it'll get stronger and stronger, which is nice. And you'll have pine needles floating around there. You know, it's part of the experience. You know, you drink it and kind of get them sucked in your teeth a little bit, chew them up. It's pretty nice, actually. Now, if you're making this tea by a campfire over hot water, what you want to do is bring the water to a full boil. Then once the water's to a boil, take your pounded pine needles, drop them in, give them a quick stir for just 10 seconds, and then pull it off the fire and let it steep for a while. And what happens is, as it's steeping, all the pine needles fill up and soak completely with water, and then they fall to the bottom. And that's how you know it's ready. So if you don't enjoy the cold experience of pine needles, straining it through your teeth, which it's really not that bad. I'm kind of making a little fun experience, but if you want a more enjoyable experience, warm pine tea is the way to go. But out here on the trail, when you just want to move fast and light, cold tea in the bottle. Crossing those power lines back there is definitely a reminder that civilization's still out there, and you know, everyone's got wants, needs, and power's one of them in this current age. And yeah, those are the kind of things that actually kind of take you back out of the space of the walk and make you contemplate, you know, what's it all about, and why do we need to have so many things that are also harmful on the earth, this planet. And you know, I'm not gonna play the hypocrite here. You know, I realize that the very nature of this camera in front of me at some point used power to charge it, to build it, to transport it. I mean, the whole gamut. And the solution, the answer, I don't know, but let's put our heads together, think about it, and come up with better ways to live that are healthier, more connected, more powerful, and create strong people, great spirits, all that good stuff. Yeah. I'm always fascinated by how other animals can live out here in the wild, and it reminds me that I have so much to learn, and it's important to protect this planet, not only for us, but for them as well.